Trump numbers are trending downwards according to Fox and CBC. The present performance is underwater in economic performances, migration, healthcare, and foreign affairs. We're going to talk this in details. Yesterday, Congress members have been on hit with President Trump over the video they published calling members of armed forces to not respect illegal orders from anybody. Trump administration accused them of seditious behavior, which could be punished by death since they are calling insurrections. White House has new suggestion to end Russia-Ukraine protracted war waging Europe. Since its beginning, it has been one of the worst war Europe has ever experienced after the Second World War. 5 soldiers die every day, both sides. Can you imagine? That's horrible. And again, in the United States, Jack Schumer, minority leaders in the Senate, is calling for a Congress resolution to ban again Nick Fuentes, a perceived white supremacist and antisemitic figures, defying all free speech protocol, as Schumer claims. Will he succeed? And abroad, you have heard Congo, Rwanda, M23 war, which the United States and Qatar are the official mediators between conflicting parties. Yesterday, the Emir of Qatar, who is there on behalf of the United States in Kigali, was in Kigali. Today, he is in Kinshasa. Will he manage to get two parties settle their grievances? So far, any party, including the United Nations, has failed. The UN has voted a resolution which called Rwanda Defense Forces to withdraw from Congo, but so far Rwanda has defied it. The FDLR label seeking for the liberation of Rwanda has been staying in the negotiation, and Tshisekedi, the president of Congo, appears to have no solution to dismantle this labor group. Trump has managed to get a ceasefire between the two parties, but time they fight. Will he get to the end of the negotiation deal to settle the conflict? Welcome to Chess. Trump numbers are trending downwards according to Fox and CBS. You can see on the screen that the president performance is underwater or downwards in economic performance. For example, in economic performance, people ask about the performance of economics, affordability, prices, inflation. Said the president is not performing really well, and the numbers are down. In terms of migration, the way he's handling migration issues, including deportation, including many other issues regarding to migration, also numbers are going down. Healthcare, for example, they requested about the Obama cares, and more than 50% are pro Obamacare because every American wants access to health services, access to health care, affordability in health services, and the number are low when it comes to healthcare performances for President Trump. And foreign affairs, the way President is handling conflicts around the globe and his foreign policies. You've heard about many people in the United States, including young people, are against the Israel influence in the United States. And most of them are accused to be anti-Semitic. And they are not supporting Trump performances when it comes to foreign affairs. And regarding to stopping the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, of course, Trump has tried so many times, and so far he couldn't get this ceasefire. He couldn't get the two parties conflicting settle and sit down to negotiate. But right now, Trump has a new proposal for the Russia-Ukraine war to end it. We're going to talk about here in detail, for example. Foreign affairs also, Trump, the Americans were asked if the way the president is handling foreign affairs, if it gives them peace or not. Many people say, though president has managed to settle more than 6 wars and end them, but it didn't make Americans feel safe. That's it. That's from CBS and from Fox, one of the media houses which is pro-Trump from the beginning. Let's go on. Yesterday, the Congress members have been on heat with President Trump over a video they published calling members of armed forces not respect illegal orders from anybody. Those includes one member from the Navy, one member from the CIA, former CIA officer, one member from the Air Force, and many others. All of them, they call that America is on, the United States is on difficult time, and armed forces should remember that they should respect only legal orders. When it comes to illegal orders, they should respect the Constitution. They should follow the Constitution instead of following people and leaders. And the Trump administration didn't feel it well. They said those Congress members and former armed forces members, they are calling for insurrections. And President Trump accused them of seditious behavior, which calls for insurrection and disrespect of the command chain of the chief of the top chief of the armed forces. So, and the members said, no, we called for disrespecting illegal orders, not legal orders. And of course, Trump administration, including Caroline Leavitt, the spokesperson of the White House, said, no, we know exactly what they are talking about. And we know that they are calling for insurrections. And of course, there is a lot of debates going on right now. We won't go into details, but this is very, very important to discuss about. Most people are accusing President Trump of political violence, to advocate for political violence, because he has told Marjorie Taylor Greene and called her Marjorie traitors, and that she should be punished. Then again, President Trump says they should be punished by death, the members of Congress. Well, people are saying the political violence rhetoric in the United States is on the rise. And it's not good for a democratic country, a democratic nation. Some other people say. Well, you have your idea, you have your comments, you can give us what you think about that. Let's move on. The White House has a new suggestion to end Russia-Ukraine protracted war waging Europe. I have to tell you that this is one of the worst war the Europe has never experienced since the Second World War. 5,000 soldiers die every day on both sides. Can you imagine? Infrastructure destroyed. And sometimes in Ukraine, there is a report that actually people are forced to join the military forces or to go on the battle and fight. Imagine. The war has never been good to anybody, because it kills, it destroys infrastructure. Things that you built for over the years, they can be destroyed just one day, just in a second. And rebuilding them becomes very tough. So Trump has a proposal, and this proposal suggests that Ukraine must accept it to give some of its territory to Russia, which is already occupied, like Crimea and some others. And in return, Ukraine will get a guarantee from the United States. We get access to European Union market. However, people say the Europe was not part of the drafting of this deal. We're gonna see how European leaders are gonna view this proposal and are gonna deal with it. We're gonna move on. We are still in the United States. Jack Schumer, minority leaders in the Senate, is calling for Congress resolution to ban again Nick Fuentes, a perceived white supremacist and antisemitic figures defying of free speech protocol, as Schumer claimed. But Nick Fuentes doesn't see it that way. He says this is an attack to free speech, to his First Amendment of expressing his opinion. But for other people, they say, no, his opinion is racist, is anti-Semitic, and should not be given a platform to discuss anything at all. President Trump has avoided to blame Carl Tuckerson giving a platform to Nick Fuentes and said, well, Carl Tuckerson have a right to host anybody. And this is not sounding well in the Democrat side. Jack Schumer says this is not acceptable and it should be called off. Well, we don't know where the free speech starts and ends. That's about the law, and I'm not a lawyer. I don't claim to be a lawyer. I'm just a political commentator here, talking about events, political events going on. So let's finish our episode, our talk show today. You've heard the Congo. Now we go in Africa. Yeah, we toured from Europe. We went to, from here, United States, we went to Europe in the Russia-Ukraine war. And now let's go to the Congo. You've heard the Congo, Rwanda, M23 war. United States and Qatar have been the official mediators between conflicting parties. And President Trump has claimed he ended this war among the 6 wars he settled. Yesterday, the Emir of Qatar was in Kigali, and today he's in Kinshasa. I have to remind you that Qatar works closely in diplomatic relations with the United States, and sometimes they tackle conflict or state of conflicts on behalf of the United States. Will he manage to get the 2 parties settle their grievances? So far, not anybody wants to settle because the conflict has been there 30 years and 10 million people have been killed. Imagine, that's too bad for humanity, too bad for the people. The UN has voted a resolution which called Rwanda Defense Forces to withdraw from the Congo, but Rwanda leadership has defied it and said, we can lift our protective measures that we have said there. Protective measures means, for some analysts, having the boat on the Congo soil, which is, something of disrespecting sovereignty of another nation. However, Tshisekedi, the president of DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, appears to have no solution to dismantle this labor group, which Rwanda makes a priority to lift up their defensive measures. Trump has managed to get a ceasefire, but sometimes, time to time, the labels and the Congo government fight and breaks the ceasefire. Will President Trump and the Emir of Qatar get the last peace solution for Rwanda and Congo conflict, which has been there for over 30 years and 10 million dead? Thank you for watching The Chess. Subscribe, share, and like.